my Sharona.
I was watching a video recently of like somebody asking a bunch of like metal performers what their favorite like pop. It was like, what's your favorite like pop guilty pleasure right now? And luckily, somebody from I think it was Slipknot was like,
oh,
I don't have guilty pleasures. I like what I like.
Oh,
like,
nice. That's what a great response, actually.
Yeah. And he was like, so I like Katy Perry. But somebody asked Alice Cooper what his like pop guilty pleasure was, and he said My Sharona, and I was like, that's a shit answer. Everybody likes My Sharona. It's not a guilty pleasure to like My Sharona.
Yeah.
No one thinks you're less hard because you like My Sharona.
I think a guilty pleasure pop song would be like Hello Kitty, like Avril Lavigne. Like that's a song like if you heard someone listen to Hello Kitty, you wouldn't necessarily be like, oh, what's wrong with you? But like deep down, you'd be like, that's a choice. That's a choice.
Yeah. I try to be like the Slipknot drummer and just be like, I like what I like.
It's
like,
true. Yeah, fuck off.
It's not guilty of you to like pop. You're not a criminal if you like pop music.
It's true.
Like, it's fine. It's not a guilty pleasure.
Yeah.
However,
Minasato arigato.
There are some things that I'm not super proud to admit that I like.
Like?
Like,
let's air it out.
I unironically like the song Swish Swish by Katy Perry. I know she had like that super memey music video for her where she had like a bunch of Viners and like Backpack Kid and like Terry Crews in a mustache and Molly Shannon making out with a dude.
That's
and it's
hot.
like supposed to be all weird. But like the song is really fucking catchy.
I don't think I've ever heard it.
It's got Nicki Minaj on it and like her verse is kind of sick.
I mean, okay.
It's pretty good.
I want to say like Nicki Minaj has had a very tenuous couple years in terms of her publicity.
Yeah.
You know, she kind of like dips here and there in terms of public opinion of her.
Yeah.
She is still, at the end of the day, still a great rapper though.
Yeah. Like, she can put together a really solid verse.
Like, yeah, she raps about like having a big ass and like tits and dicks and shit, but which rapper doesn't?
She does it in a way that's like, yeah, I have this great rack and this great butt, and I can also wrap circles around you.
Yeah.
I'm going to remind you how hot I am and how skilled I am at my craft at the same time.
Queen was rough, though.
No, I didn't like it.
No, I don't like Queen.
I didn't like it at all.
It was all beats and nothing else. It was just kind of like, I don't remember anything about it.
I feel like she knew that it wasn't her best, and like, oh God, I don't want.
I'm moving
the
my
last
microphone,
thing
everybody.
I would
Sorry.
ever want on this planet is for the Barbs to come after me. Not because I'm scared, but
Barbs versus Chill Spot, who wins?
Because I just don't want to listen to your bullshit.
Yeah.
Like I don't have the energy for it. I didn't grow up with siblings. So, like, I'm a non-confrontational person in the sense that I just don't have the energy for it.
Yeah.
I didn't grow up with somebody half Nelsoning me every time I turned a corner. So now I'm just tired. You know?
Yeah.
Like, when somebody... It's funny because, like, my dad, who did grow up with siblings, would try and, like, fuck with me. So, like, I would be like, hey, Dad, can you hand me the pepper? And he'd be like, sure. And then he'd, like, tug it away from me at the last second. And then I'd, like, reach out again. And he'd, like, take it away from me at the last second. And then I would just wait. Like, I would just fold my arms. I wouldn't pout. I wouldn't complain.
Yeah. Just wait.
I'd just be like, I'm going to wait for you to be tired of this. Because I'm tired of this already. And I don't want to play anymore.
Yeah, but knowing
I want you to give me the pepper. So, like I'm hungry. I have a meal to eat.
Right,
you know?
right.
Like, I'm looking at the end game here, and you're just a simple obstacle.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to wait.
You know
and
what
he would
I picture,
laugh at me
Sam?
all the time. He'd be like, you don't even get mad at me. You just huff and puff and wait. And I'm like, because the bit has to end at some point. You know?
Every bit needs an end, yeah.
And I'm tired, and I don't want to do this anymore. And he would laugh at me, kind of like how you laugh at me now.
A little bit. I was about to say, in that same vein, you know what I picture, Sam, with you and your dad and that like salt and pepper exchange? I picture like the three of you, like you, mom, and your dad at dinner.
Yeah.
And then like you're like, can I have the pepper, please? Your dad does that thing.
Yeah.
And he does it again. And you wait there, and you're looking at each other, and you two are looking at each other, and like your mom just like finishes eating, and like cleans her plate, puts it away, like turns the lights off, and the sun goes down. And the moonrise comes in, and you're both just still sitting there.
Yeah.
Time goes on.
He's too stubborn to let go of the bit, and I'm too stubborn to just like not have pepper with my meal.
Exactly.
So like
you'd rather fucking starve. I'll put pepper on my ice cream, motherfucker.
I'll wait.
Oh God.
Yeah.
So in world news, Dan Gore has thrown out 4 episodes of Brooklyn Nine-Nine season 8 in order to rewrite them, considering the things that have come to light.
Yeah, and I saw a headline about that.
Is that not exactly what we fucking talked about off mic a couple weeks ago?
Well, how we should just scrap whatever they have already and just start from scratch?
Well, because there is literally, in my opinion... So, okay, listen. I know... I want to address 2 things. Up until now... Till this very second, I've been very much Chill Spot, not really wanting it to be this platform for us to talk about politics. You and I are very inundated with politics. We have lots of opinions, And I think that came from a place of not wanting to alienate anyone in terms of those who watch our content. However, with some things that have come to light, I don't think that saying Black Lives Matter is a political thing. I think it's a human thing. So Black Lives Matter, Trans Lives Matter, arrest these cops, ACAB, something needs to change, fuck that shit, arrest the cops who killed Breonna Taylor.
Well, it's like...
But...
I don't want, and like a couple of comedians have said this recently in the wake of like, because like comedians always get the question where it's like, do you want to be political, or are you gonna stay away from the political stuff? And like a couple of my favorite comedians, and even some comedians that I don't even like that much, like I think Amy Schumer said this, and I'm not a huge Amy Schumer fan, but she was like, I don't want everybody to like me. I don't want Trump supporters to like me. I don't want you to feel safe. I don't want you to feel like you can consume my stuff.
Yes.
So let me just say this right off the bat, who I am and what I'm about. I'm not going to be, fucking Jane Elliott. I'm not going to be like running, workshops on how to be less racist. But I need you to know that this is what I'm about.
Yep.
And if you're gonna have a problem with it, well, then I have a problem with you, and I don't want you consuming my shit anyway. So get out.
That is certainly the way I feel now.
Yeah.
Believe me, I never wanted Trump supporters to like us either. Yeah. I just didn't want Chill Spot to be a place where
when you claim complete neutrality, that's who you attract.
And you're absolutely right. And I just wanted to say that I've seen the error in that way of thinking.
Good.
And I understand why.
Good. Because sorry, finish your.
No,
I'm gonna pop off, but you finish.
I just wanted to say, and I think you're probably gonna get into this and end it with, and I'm right. So you were right, Sam.
Thank you.
You were right from the beginning, and I was wrong. I wasn't thinking. How could I say this without making myself sound like a cock?
But if you acted like a cock, then own it.
Okay, well, yeah, fine. I acted like a cock. I didn't fully grasp the gravity of everything. I thought I understood for a long time, but as a white person trying to understand the gravity and racism, the systemic racism as a whole, you find that there's layers to everything, and I don't even think I'm at the layer where other people are at yet. But all I wanted to say is that I was wrong for staying neutral. That was incorrect of me.
Can I call you in for a second?
Sure.
I'm not going to call you out. I'm going to call you in.
Okay.
So, you're white. I'm not white.
No way.
We're partners. We've been dating for a while. I love you.
I love you too.
As of this recording, I'm convinced that you're the one for me.
It's gonna be awkward in 10 years when we don't talk to each other anymore.
Exactly. When we were talking to each other through lawyers. So we started this channel, and you had a couple of role models in mind for this channel. Who you thought did a very good job of keeping politics out of their work and keeping it funny all the time. Because
it was just a space to relax and shit like that.
And I said, okay. I didn't fight you on it. And I was like, yeah, no, we're not going to talk about politics, but we're not going to go out of our way to talk about politics.
We're not a political news channel.
So we started recording this, me and my black body and you and your white body. And inevitably, politics came up. I would talk about tough shit, I would joke about it in some way, and sometimes we would pause a recording, sometimes just through comedy you would just sort of steer the conversation in a different direction, because Chill Spot's not about politics, and Chill Spot, we're keeping it out. I don't want to talk about rape culture, I don't want to talk about racism, I don't want to talk about ACAB, all that shit, anything related to ACAB. So in an effort to call you in, do you understand now how that was a privilege for you?
100%.
Because what black people have been bringing to light recently with all of this, in the wake of George Floyd's death, I'm going to say that tends to be the bookmark for when, this whole conversation started about defunding police and Black Lives Matter and all that stuff. In the wake of all of this, yes, white people have realized it, but me and other black folks, we've been living with this every day.
You're right.
The case of Elijah McCain is gaining traction again, which is a young black man who was senselessly murdered by police officers in Aurora, which I think is somewhere in Texas.
I don't know.
Or somewhere in the States.
Yeah.
People keep saying. I have a whole sidetrack about how people in the States need to be more specific when they talk about the States, because we're not all from the States.
Yeah. Let's not get off track, though. Regardless, you're in the middle of saying something.
I have known about this Elijah McCain case for years. I knew about it when it happened. I read about it, I heard about it because the channels that I'm into, that I'm tapped into as a black person, like it was made known to me.
Yes.
Because this is something that black people need to know about. We need to know about this and blah, 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 blah. And we made it our business.
Yes.
We didn't make it white people's business, or white people didn't make it their business to pay attention.
You're right.
So they could afford, people like you could afford to say, I want to start a YouTube channel and it's going to be comedy and it's going to be funny all the time. We're just not going to talk about politics. But I as a black person have to exist. I don't have a choice. You know, I wound up bringing up, you know, as I'm black and I'm a woman. So because I'm surrounded by rape culture and racism and white supremacy and misogyny and misogynoir all the time, I didn't have a choice. And you would give me a hard time about bringing that stuff up. But that's my life. And you know, we started Chill Spot because we're going to talk about life. Well, Cam, this is my life.
Yeah.
You know?
And believe you me, Sam,
I live with this all of the time. You know that I've had run-ins at work with racism. And you know that I'm, especially as a biracial black person, I'm struggling with my identity every fucking day.
Yeah.
I live with it every day. And I'm so happy that, and believe me, like I am happy that all of my white friends have really stepped up to the plate, you know, like that, no bones about it. A protest was there. All my white friends were like, I have a white friend who has worse social anxiety than I do. And she went to the protest, you know, like I couldn't even get her to come to a birthday party where she knew the majority of people there because she just does not like crowds. And she went to a fucking protest. I'm so happy for my white friends, but you know, recognize that I have been living with this shit all the time.
Yeah.
My whole life.
Yeah.
You know, and just especially with the rise of social media and the 24-hour news cycle, it's always in your face. I know it all the time. I knew about Elijah McCain when it happens, and I'm not being a hipster about it. I'm not trying to claim any clout at all. What I'm highlighting here is that, you know, as a black person, you know, we are tuned into these things all of the time.
Yes.
Not just when it's trending.
You're right.
Not just when there's a spike in police brutality. No, I'm talking about like everyday police brutality. I hear about this shit.
You're absolutely right.
So thank you for saying that. That's a huge weight off my chest because, you know, like I would deal with all of this shit all the week, and then I would come sit to Chill Spot and be like, I got to just throw this all away. That's hard. That hurts. That's painful. I don't want to just throw it all away.
No, you shouldn't have to.
And I tweeted about this earlier, but it sucks when you're trying to sort through your feelings about something by a tough subject by talking about it, and then somebody shuts you down by saying it's a bummer to talk about.
Right.
It's like, well, thank you for calling me a bummer. Now I have that to add on top of everything else that I'm feeling about the shit that's going on in the world. You know, like I'm glad, and you know, I've said this to you before. You know, we want Chill Spot to be a place where people can relax and unwind, but there's a certain level of relaxation that happens, a catharsis.
Yes.
When you talk about or hear somebody who, you know, is approaches things from the same angle, you know, the same political beliefs, spectrum and stuff like that. There's something relaxing about hearing somebody once again say, this is fucked up and Black Lives Matter and we can't let this stuff happen anymore. We can't, you know, like arrest the cops who killed Breonna Taylor, not because we attach ourselves to one specific story. I want every black cop, or I want every cop who has ever killed a black person to be arrested and put in jail and lose everything for senselessly murdering a person, yes, but like we're talking about Black lives right now, so a black person.
I'm nodding, by the way. That's why you can't.
Yeah. And there's a certain catharsis that, and I feel chill when I talk about that with people that I love, and I can express my feelings.
Of course,
that's the chill and Chill Spot. You know,
yeah.
It is also, you know, when we do our funny bits, that feels really good. I love doing that stuff, and I have said it before, and I'll say it again. Making people laugh is like a drug for me. When I hear a nice bassy laugh from like one person, or even, oh my god, like 2 or 3 people, I love that. And I love
it's like cocaine. Yeah.
I love it when my friends text me and say, oh, you talked like this made me laugh at the podcast, the part about this, that, or the other thing made me, I was dying. Or like, even if you just want to like talk to me about something the other day, like we were talking about Jewish people and how Jewish people know to identify each other, and how that's something I didn't even know about. And then my friend Rachel, who is dating a Jewish guy right now,
shout
out to Rachel. Yeah, I love you. Thank you so much.
Top 5 fans for sure.
Yeah. When she texted me about that, I was like, that's so cool. She was telling me about she called it Judar, which is her Jewish boyfriend's name for it, which is like
a term we did not make up.
No.
But a Jewish person did make up.
Yes.
Okay. Cool.
As to like how they can identify another Jewish person when they're like out and about.
Yeah.
And I love that. Thank you for it. Just like, I mean, like, I love the fact that someone is listening to what we're saying and like talking about it
enough to comment on it. Yeah.
But I also want to talk about like the stuff that's going on in the world, and we're not going to turn into a fucking like Daily Show, you know?
Yeah,
like,
we're not going to all of a sudden start being hyper political,
Noah.
Of course. Yeah, we're not getting on Seth Meyers' radar, right?
I'm also Seth Meyers is not more like a Hassan Minaj or something, but Seth Meyers is just a talk show, which is fine, but not like he doesn't do the Daily Show.
Okay.
Yeah, so love all the comedy stuff too, but like it's also chill, and I would like to hope that the audience that we've attracted also finds it chill when I go off about racism, you know? Even if it's just like microaggressions, you know? I can be like I was talking to you earlier today about how the last time I had braids, I had not one but two people call them dreadlocks.
Fuck.
And it's like, have you never seen a braid before in your life? Even on a white girl.
Literally
it looks
a braid.
like what's in my hair right now. It's like, literally a braid.
The way the hair is tucked and tied together.
Just because it was done by a black person doesn't mean they're dreadlocks. Like,
yeah.
So yeah, I hope you guys get a kick out of that too. And maybe you're not, you know, like huffing and hawing and, you know, kikiing all the way through the 45 minutes to an hour that we record these podcasts for. Mm-hmm. But I hope that you feel chill knowing that we want you, no matter what you look like, how you identify, to be alive and well and prospering and thriving. Yes. That's what I want. Because as a person of color and as a woman, someone who's got like two marginalized groups going for her, I love it when I know that I'm in a new space, but that space is not racist or at least overtly racist, because white people just don't be knowing. But, you know, I'm in a room full of people who don't want to bring me harm.
Right.
And if you are on the fringes of society in any way, if you're marginalized in any way, like, this is not the space where we don't talk about that, where we want to just gloss over that.
Yeah.
It's
so
not.
if I could chime into what you're saying.
Yeah.
I did realize part of this epiphany was realizing that my privilege allowed me to be apolitical. Yeah.
And that you did that to me.
And I did that to you, and that was unfair of me. And I should have never have done that. And I am genuinely sorry about that.
Thank you.
I realized something, and I'm embarrassed to say it took me this long to realize it, but what my inaction and what my silence came off as. I always thought politics was something like, if you ask me, I'll tell you. But I'm not going to say it. Mm-hmm. And I realized that it's not enough to be anti-racist or anti-bigoted or anti-misogynistic. No, hang on. No, I got that backwards. It's not enough to just not be racist or misogynistic or bigoted. You need to be anti-racist and anti-misogynistic and anti-bigoted. Yeah. You have to stand up to your bullies and your assholes in your life, and you know what? Not even and your friends. Yeah. And the people. And this is, you know, I'm talking.
You have to let them know that they're not in company.
Yeah. You look down at yourself right now. Are you white?
Yeah.
Me too. I'm talking to you. When your friend makes a racist comment or a misogynistic comment or a bigoted comment or a transphobic, ableist, anything, any ism under the sun, you have to call them out, because that is not okay.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying you need to start a fucking argument and get into a fist fight with your friends, but you need to let them know strongly and clearly that what they're saying is not okay. Mm-hmm. That is your duty as a white person. I'm saying that right. Lesson number fucking 1. They're
not in good company.
Lesson number 1. It's your duty as a white person to help those around you.
Or an able-bodied person, or a cis person, or a male, or, you know, like, if you have any sort of, because, like, it's on, like, some of these things are on me too sometimes, you know? Like, it's on me as a straight cisgender person to call out transphobia and homophobia, biphobia. Is lesbophobia a thing? I think it's just homophobia.
Under homophobia, it's kind of an umbrella term.
Yeah. All those things. Like, any anti-LGBTQ plus thing, I as a straight cis person need to call it out when I see it.
And you know what, like, I'm gonna say two more things. First thing, I'm gonna piggyback off what you said earlier. If you're a fan of Chill Spot, and if you're hanging out with us in the streams, or you listen to our podcast, or you're commenting on our videos, I want to let you know, whoever you are, white, gay, straight, black, Asian, anything under the sun, that you are safe here.
Yeah.
And that we as hosts will not tolerate intolerance whatsoever.
No,
Like
I really don't fuck with that.
This is a no intolerance zone, folks. Yeah. And I don't give a fuck if I'm preaching. I don't give a fuck if you're rolling your eyes. Listen to this right now.
Yeah.
It's the truth. You either chill while you're here or you find a fucking other place to chill.
Yeah.
And the second thing I wanted to say, I kind of lost my train of thought a little bit. We were talking about, what were you? You were just talking about just now, talking about calling people out, right?
Mm-hmm. Thinking about the privilege that applies to you in each moment. Because, yes, white, straight, cis males definitely need to, and able-bodied males need to do all of that. Yes. I call them WHAMs, white, heterosexual, able-bodied men.
Nice. Yeah. That's a good one.
Yeah, thank you. I came up with that when I was in school for social
media. My God, you're so smart. But last thing, and I'll let you finish, I just wanted to tack on what I was going to say, is that I understand how conflict is hard. I'm actually, believe you me, like I like to sit here and talk into a mic like I'm a fucking giant, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm a big person, and people think that I'm this super, or for some reason think I'm tougher than I am. I'm really not a tough guy.
No.
I'm a soft fella, and I don't like conflict.
Yeah.
And that's really hard for me to speak up when I know that what I'm going to say is going to cause conflict. But it is a privilege of mine to stay silent when I hear moments of discrimination.
Yeah.
And fuck that.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit how much of a stink it causes anymore. Mm-hmm. I don't give a fuck if I leave and I have to go sit somewhere and shake and cry for 5 minutes. Mm-hmm. I'm never, ever going to stay silent ever again. Mm-hmm. Ever again.
Good.
But what were you about to say, darling? I didn't mean to interrupt you. You were talking about the term WHAMs.
Oh, I was just interjecting.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, with WHAMs.
Mm-hmm.
White, heterosexual, able-bodied men.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that being said, folks, Sam and I are not political experts. Or are we, like, authority figures?
Yeah.
We're just a couple of actors like to do goofs
politics,
and gaffes.
You know, like, we're not going to become C-SPAN all of a sudden. Yeah. Like, I can't really do that. I don't have the vocabulary. I don't have the knowledge to talk about literal politics, like political proceedings, what is happening in Parliament right now. I try my best as a citizen of voting age to keep up with what is going on, not just around election season, but what my politicians are doing all year round, all term round. I do what I can.
Yep.
But I will admit it is not the section of the news that is not the genre of the news that I pay attention to the hardest. I'm not paying attention to every single bill. I'm not paying attention to every single meeting that
there are people far more qualified than you and I.
Yeah, exactly. I just simply do not fuck with
discrimination,
oppression
and discrimination. Because you know what it is, Sam.
And I do what I can to learn, and I understand that. Like, I have my own privileges. I certainly do. I'm a black person, but I'm light-skinned. Mm-hmm. I'm biracial. I don't have a lot of stereotypically black features, like broad nose, big lips. I have the big hair. That's unmistakable. But, like, I don't... I definitely read as racially ambiguous. When people who don't know me and have never seen me before in their life look at me, they can't nail an ethnicity on me. And that allows me to kind of, like, fall between the cracks in some privileged ways. So I have to acknowledge that. I grew up in what people would call a quote-unquote good area, like no trouble. I'm not very street smart. I think I am, and then I go to Toronto and I talk to people who have even lived in Toronto for 5 years, and they're infinitely more street smart than I am.
Well, you got to have a street to be street smart. Kitchener is a city, all right, but Toronto is like a city.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I have to examine those things too, and just get my shit together. But I am working every day to be better. I'm one of those people. And if you are not one of those people, then you can get the fuck out of my podcast and YouTube channel and Twitch streams and Instagram and Twitter and Google Play and all of that shit.
And what else? Yeah.
And Podbean and all of that shit.
Spotify.
You can just get out. You can get the fuck out.
Get out my Blu-rays.
You can walk out the door.
Get out of my PlayStation 4.
Get out of my VHS player.
Am I starting the Curb theme already now? Is it too early?
Just leave. Just get out.
Get out right now. So guys, I understand that's a little bit of a change of pace for us and me specifically.
No, but it's never been said before, and it needs to be said.
I would be remiss to say nothing. Yeah. And
if anything, we're late to the party. We should have said this earlier.
Well, there's been it's been a process, and I've had a couple of epiphanies over the last 4 months.
Yeah.
Now that I'm literally nothing but alone with my thoughts. So yeah, I don't know. I feel like again, I don't want to beat this horse that's been dead for 5 minutes, but I feel like I started the channel off on the wrong foot in that regard. And I just want to say it's episode I think this might be our 50th episode, actually.
What a great time to address a mission statement.
Episode 50. Things are different now. Mm-hmm. There's been a lot of changes, and I want to acknowledge those changes. And I want to acknowledge that the decisions I made before came from a place of privilege and a place of misunderstanding and a place of ignorance, to be perfectly honest. And I'm going to promise you all, and to you, Sam, that I'm going to do better.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm going to hold you to that.
Of course,
Keep my foot on your neck.
I would expect you to. I mean, your foot's usually on my neck.
No, it's not.
Literally, I mean.
You're getting...
It's walk
in the door, and you're like, "Hi, sweetie, how are you? It's so good to see you." And I like, get on the ground.
You're like, "Yes, mommy." And
what are you? You're like, "You're a little. I'm a little bitch boy."
No, I'd be like, "I'm a little piggy. Ha, I'm a little piggy.
Oink oink
oink oink. Ooh, get my bacon."
I'm like, that's right. You feel his foot on your neck? I'm gonna take it off, but it's always there.
Yes.
Yes, mommy.
Yes. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, mommy.
Pant like a dog.
Good boy. Here's a milk bone. God, what did I tell you about wet noises? What did I tell you about wet noises?
That's the noise. That's what dogs make when they eat. They go.
No. But thank you for saying that. I didn't tell you to say that, and there wasn't like a huge conversation that led up to that, and like. Thank you, because like it was actually giving me such a hard time to like not be political and not be and like feel like a dick every single time I did it anyways. Felt sick of being fucking Harriet Tubman on the channel.
Well, to be honest with you, Sam, this is another thing I guess.
I could have freed 500 more.
It's on me. I actually wanted to bring this up like 2 podcasts ago, but it's just between getting set up and the bubble expanding and now we can see each other. Yeah. It was just a very fast-paced couple of weeks and the topics were hot and we were making good shows. So it just didn't seem like, I know it's kind of a cop-out to say there was no opportune moment, but there was quite literally no opportune moment.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to go any further without saying something.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to be on episode 75 in December and be like, you know, when we were talking about Breonna Taylor and all those other people.
Oh, me too.
I felt really bad about that.
What they said.
You know, and like, I might be late to the party, but like, I'm already late. Yeah. But I just wanted to say before it got any later, you know? And I also thank you for your thanks, but I did not say that to be thanked. I just want to be better, you know?
Good.
Yeah.
Good. I'm glad it was someone who wants to do that.
But anyway, what do you think season 8 of Brooklyn Nine-Nine is going to be about?
Damn, that is how we started this, isn't it? I don't know. It'll be really interesting to see. I read the headline that said that they had scrapped everything that they had so far and we're starting from scratch. But it'll be interesting. I actually, and I've said this before, I actually kind of trust Mike Schur.
And Dan Gore. I think Dan Gore handles. Is it both of them?
Both of them created Brooklyn Nine-Nine, yeah.
Okay.
But Mike Schur is the one that, like, the writing style is his.
It's his bag, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, well, that thing that you, like, the style that you recognize from, like, The Office and The Good Place and...
you know, they did a blackface joke on The Office, eh?
Yes, I know.
Right?
Yep. Oh, don't I know it.
So I got to ask you, though, and I'm legitimately asking you this question, because obviously the short answer is that there's no such thing as good portrayal of blackface. Obviously. But do you remember the context of the joke?
Not entirely.
Okay,
was it Michael that did it?
No, so I recently talked about this with a buddy of mine, and it's why I brought it up in the first place.
Okay.
The joke, it was that Dwight was the manager at this point,
yeah,
and he wanted to celebrate Christmas with, because you know when he becomes the manager and he gets that like assistant guy,
yeah,
that like weirdo ass assistant guy,
yeah,
it's like Mose but not Mose,
yeah.
Essentially he was like, oh, for Christmas this year, we're going to bring in the classic Schrute family Sinterklausen or something, right? Like some weird German shit. Who says, like, when he comes down the chimney, the soot from the fire, like, gets onto his face and burns his lips. And Stanley immediately is like, that is the dumbest fucking thing that I have ever heard.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, so we shouldn't do it? He's like, no, I don't think you should do that. And he was like, okay, no, good. You know, me too, actually. I don't think we should do it either. And like he turns and like texts on his phone, and then it cuts to the door of the office, and that dude dressed up like Santa Claus in blackface is walking up to the door to pull on it, and he checks his phone and just turns around and goes back to his car. So it's like, I'm curious, what's your opinion on that?
Yeah. So here's the thing about that is that things like that people say, oh, well, like, it's approaching it, but we didn't actually, like, it's not actually, like, I'm not actually bringing, like, a guy in blackface out to, like, do a stupid dance and pretend to be a black person. Right. So it's, like, it's pushing the envelope. I hate that term.
It's edgy.
It's edgy.
Yes, right.
It's like on the brink of it, but it's not. Stop trying to be on the brink of it.
Okay.
Stop it. Just stop it.
I'm not big on edgy humor either.
Just don't do it. Just don't do it.
Mm-hmm.
You know that blackface, the most racist white person in the entire world, knows that blackface is wrong. They may be okay with seeing it. They may support its continuation, but they understand that people don't like it. That it's not acceptable to do anymore.
It is unacceptable society.
You won't hear a racist white person say, "Oh yeah, blackface is totally acceptable. It's like we should do it." No, because it's so overtly racist, they'll find a way to talk around it. They'll say something like, well, it's a part of history. They'll find some way.
Some dumb
to
bullshit.
Talk around it. But they will not out and out say, this is acceptable and we should do it. You know? So if you know that it's not okay, don't fucking do it. Stop trying to find a way to do it.
Right.
Stop trying to find a way to work around it. Racism isn't a challenge.
You know? Okay, I see what you mean.
It's not a dare. It's not like, oh, we should try. Stop it. Mm-hmm. Stop it. That's why every fucking time I hear somebody try to explain Tropic Thunder to me, I want to reach down into the barrels of their mouth, find their intestines, rip it out, and feed it back to them like spaghetti. Like, I am so... What Robert Downey Jr. did in Tropic Thunder was blackface. And if you want to try and explain it away, you can do that all day, but it's never going to fucking change the fact that a white man changed his skin. I don't care that it wasn't like black, that it was like accurate brown skin or whatever. And I don't care that he didn't do the typical things that minstrels do that is traditional of blackface. I don't care. You put a
it's
white
the principle.
Man in brown makeup and had him say that he was a black man when he wasn't. That is blackface. It's wrong. It sucks. I don't like it. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Stop trying to explain it away.
I agree with you 100%.
Yeah.
Have you seen Tropic Thunder?
Yes, of course I have.
Okay. That's my one question. I just want to see if you've seen it. No, I hear you, man, because from what I understand from you...
Can I just shit on that for a second? If I hadn't seen Tropic Thunder, but I had maybe like seen clips of it on YouTube, maybe, you know, I missed it when it was in theaters, and then like I really heard about it and I like watched a clip of it, or I saw a picture of it. I don't have to have seen Tropic Thunder to be like, that's blackface, it's wrong, don't do it.
No, that wasn't what I was getting. I apologize if that's how I seemed like I was getting
Just stop asking black people if they've like seen it. If I tell you that I think that like, I'm trying to think of an example. If I tell you that I think that Michael Richards saying the N-word is racist, don't tell me to go watch the clip. Right. It happened. We all know that Michael Richards said the N-word, okay? So like, don't tell me to go watch it for context. You're not supposed to say the N-word. Don't say the N-word. Did you say the N-word? Okay, well then you fucked up.
Right.
It really is that black and white.
Okay.
I promise you.
Sure.
I promise you.
Okay.
I don't have to see it.
No, I just wanted to know if you personally have seen Tropic Thunder.
Yeah.
Like I just legit was curious if you've seen the movie.
Yeah, I saw it when I was a kid because I didn't know that Robert Downey Jr. was going to do blackface. I just heard that there was a new comedy starring like Robert Downey Jr. and like all these
huge, big
who
budget.
Was fucking funny at the time, like
Ben Stiller's in it.
Ben Stiller,
Jack Black's in it. Tom Cruise is in it.
Yeah, a bunch of comedians and like really, really well-respected actors were in a movie together, and I was a kid, so I was like, it's a movie, let's go see it. And then I saw it and it was blackface.
Yeah. So I mean, from what I understand from you, and like for the longest time, and I know lots of people with this opinion, but there's people out there who say like, and I'm not trying to refute what you're saying at all. Let me make myself perfectly clear. There's a lot of people who say like, yes, it's blackface, but in the context of the movie, it's still being condemned as blackface. But from what I understand from you and other black folks who I've spoken to about this topic, is that doesn't really matter. It's about the principle that more than likely white writers at some point when they were writing the script were like, what if we get...
Let me tell you, not a single black person wants to see Robert Downey Jr. looking like a black person.
No.
Not a single one.
I imagine
I promise you.
Most would be uncomfortable with that.
I promise you. And Robert Downey Jr.'s closest black friend doesn't want to see him in blackface.
Well, of course. Like, put it this way, guys. If you're at home and to yourself, if you think to yourself, oh, I like Tropic Thunder. That's a pretty funny movie. Ask yourself if you ever talked to a black person about Tropic Thunder. And really ask yourself. I'm not trying to shame anyone.
I mean, there are definitely some hoteps out there who like are like, well, they like, blah, 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 like black. There are some black people out there who will explain it away. But I'm telling you that those black black people are wrong and you shouldn't listen to them.
There you go. Well, that's our statement on that. But yeah, long story short, it's about the principle of the fact that they did it and that they thought it was, even though in the context of the movie, you have black people and white people telling him that it's not okay, it doesn't change the fact that it got done. Mm-hmm. You know, and it's amazing that Robert Downey Jr., he got nominated for a fucking Oscar for that movie.
Was he Oscar nominated for Tropic Thunder?
I'm pretty sure he was.
I'm going to fact check that because while we're ripping it to shreds, I'm going to make sure that we have our facts absolutely straight.
This is something that we could definitely fact check.
Yeah.
I am like 70% sure he got nominated for an Oscar for that movie.
Oscar nominations. Robert Downey Jr. Oscar nominations. List of awards, blah, blah, blah. Okay. He's been nominated for two... He was nominated for Best Supporting Actor for Tropic Thunder.
For blackface.
Ironically enough, his other nomination for Academy Award was Chaplin.
Oh, so he's I'm not gonna. No, that's not. That's all right. Moving on.
I can't. I didn't know he got nominated for an Oscar for that. Man, fuck. Mm-hmm. That's so. Fuck. I didn't know that.
I'm starting to think I shouldn't have said anything.
No, you should have, because I need to know. But like, fuck that, man. Fuck. God fucking damn it.
Isn't that a crazy thing, Sam? Sam.
Sorry, I'm just shaking my head.
No,
you fucking stupid.
And that's fine, because it is stupid. You ever think about, Sam, a movie like Tropic Thunder couldn't exist today. At all. Like, the second that... Well, have you heard about this movie, actually? I'll kind of change gears here. In a similar vein. There's a movie coming out or being made that's about, like, what if black people were the slave owners? And what I think is bullshit about movies like that is that the whole idea of, like alternate history, role reversal isn't fresh or interesting or new, A. And B... No black person's going to go to this movie being like, oh, let's see what would have happened, right? And then this movie only exists to prove to ignorant white people that, well, if the roles were reversed, it would be the same. You see, it's the same.
It's for white people to go and, like, cry about.
Yeah.
It's not for black people.
No. And it's crazy because they got, like, black folks to be in that movie. Like, who the fuck is going to audition for this movie?
I've always wondered about that. I've always wondered about that whenever, because there are black people in Tropic Thunder, isn't there?
One of the main characters is black.
It's like a respected black actor, I'm pretty sure.
Well, there's that joke from the trailer where Robert Downey Jr. is like calling him,
he's like, you're doing blackface. Like, the black person is telling Robert Downey Jr. to his face that he's doing blackface.
Well, he's the one who calls him out the whole movie.
Yeah.
Because the whole movie...
that's supposed to be their workaround, is that, well, at least we had a black person on screen telling Robert Downey Jr. that what he's doing is fucked up. Yeah. And it's like...
There's that joke of, what do you mean, you people?
Yeah.
What do you mean, you people?
Brandon T. Jackson or whatever.
I don't really know. I don't think
I don't know what else he's been in. I don't recognize this name, but he's the only black person listed in the cast of Tropic Thunder, so... he's also in Big Mama's Like Father, Like Son... Percy Jackson.
Oh, that's a shame.
Lottery Ticket and Roll Bounce.
All right, listen, this guy's a professional actor, and he's clearly in, maybe not in the best movies, but he's certainly more successful than we are.
Yeah, I know, but like, whatever. That's not the point. Point is, he was in Tropic Thunder.
But could you fucking imagine someone in 2020, a white actor in 2020, getting nominated for an Oscar for doing blackface? Like, honest to God, could you imagine that being real?
Like, what a world we lived in where we just, like, let that happen and there was absolutely no outcry.
White people be cray, man. Like, straight up.
Like, y'all are out of line. Y'all are out of line.
Yeah, I hear you.
Y'all have been out of line.
I can't even deny that. Yeah, you're absolutely
absurd.
Right.
That's absurd. Mm-hmm. The fact that a man did blackface and then because they had the wherewithal to write a black character in it saying that it's wrong. And then they were like, oh, okay, well, at least they called it out then. Do you want an Oscar nomination?
Yeah, really.
The bar is on the ground for white people.
All you had to do was not do blackface, dude.
The bar is, like, buried 6 feet below the earth. Mm-hmm. Like, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. You're
gonna be thinking about this all night.
I fucking hate Tropic Thunder, man.
I sense a tweet storm.
No, I don't have a tweet storm in me. I don't have much in the way of being mad on Twitter anymore. I get mad about the things that I'm supposed to be mad about so that no one can look back at my feed 20 years from now and say that I didn't get mad about it and that's about it.
Right.
Which is frustrating to me because as somebody who doesn't use social media to process her feelings about things,
good.
I don't like the track record or the tracking back and seeing if somebody ever talked about a topic to make sure that they're serious about it or not. I don't really like it.
Oh, sorry. Hey, let me clarify because I don't misunderstand.
So when someone posts something about say like a famous person tweets out like, let's kill the cops that killed Breonna Taylor, and then they'll go back.
Kill the cops. You said what you said, but keep going.
I messed up, but I also said what I said. Let's arrest the cops who killed Breonna Taylor, and then someone will go back in that famous person's feed back to like I think Ferguson was like 2014, 2015, and they'll see if they said anything about Ferguson, and they'll be like, they didn't say anything about Ferguson, so why are you talking about this right now? And it's like, well,
dog, like, if you joined the fight late, at least you're on our side.
Because I had shit going on. I don't know. There could be a million reasons why I didn't talk about Ferguson enough. Like, I just don't process things out loud on social media, you know? Like, never. That's not me. That's never really been me. I've never used social media as a diary. I don't like sharing in that way. I would rather, you know, the best, if you really want to get something out of me, like, find me at a party just as people are starting to leave and my buzz is starting to wear off. Have me sit down in the middle of a field, look up the stars, and ask me something personal. That's how you get war secrets out of me, you know? Like, I'm not going to offer up the information voluntarily via Twitter. No. I'm not going to do that. That's not who I am.
Especially because, like, you know, that's an incredibly specific set of things, but that's okay, because I think it's possible. B, Twitter is a goddamn cesspool. Twitter is 300 million people, which is a fraction of the Earth's population, talking like they know everything that there is to know about the Earth. And I'm one of these people. Believe you me, I'm not trying to say that I'm better than anyone. If anything, I'm a part of the problem.
You know, and I've popped off my fair share on Twitter.
But I'm really good at Twitter.
My like deep interpersonal feelings about things. Excuse me, like I can't post about this Elijah McCain stuff on Twitter because it just hurts too much.
It's really fucking sad.
And believe me, like, you know, I'm down to do the footwork.
Whoops, sorry, hit the mic.
I'm down to do the literal footwork. I sign petitions. I don't have a lot of money to give right now. I really, really don't. For context, I quit my job.
That's right. Oh my God, we never talked about that.
I had a really bad panic attack about a week ago, in regards to going to work, and I had a really bad panic attack and I couldn't get out of bed. And it was because I knew I had to go to work, and just the office politics and the being an essential worker just really, really got to me. And I had a conversation with my mom, and we decided that I was going to quit my job and focus on making my arts career work, because that's what would make me happy, is focusing on that full time.
Yes.
So I'm essentially, she was like, but you're going to do work while you're here. She was like, you're essentially going to be my housekeeper. And I was like, fine.
Yeah.
You're still not charging me rent. I'm 26 years old. Yeah, I will wash the tub. I will do all the laundry.
That bitch will be sparkling. I'm gonna eat dinner in your tub.
I will sweep and mop the floors, like on a regular basis. Yep, that's fine, as long as I don't have to go back there. That's acceptable. Thank you.
No, Sam, I think you really worked out the best possible scenario for that.
So yeah, I don't be having money to give to GoFundMe's anymore. I don't. I spent my last paycheck entirely on donating to GoFundMe's, and I simply can't afford to do that stuff anymore. So can't do that. But I will attend protests from here on out. I will sign petitions. I will...
There's lots of stuff you could be doing at home.
Yeah, but I simply can't go on Twitter rants anymore. It's not good for my mental health.
Good.
And I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
If I have enough fire in me one day, maybe I will. But I'm not going to actively be there. I have friends who are dedicated to every day eat, sleep, tweet, rinse, lather, repeat.
Yeah.
Can't do that. And this Elijah McCain stuff hits really close to home, because this wasn't like, you know, he was a big guy, but he was a huge sweetie pie on the inside, and the police are just afraid of, you know, overpowering black men, and they don't see us as people. That's a fair argument, but Elijah McCain was like a skinny, little, nerdy-looking black kid. He was 23, who played the violin for cats to calm him down.
The violin for cats.
And
he's dead now.
Was calling the police officers beautiful as they strangled him, and was so peaceful. And, you know, just that's enough. It's enough.
Yeah.
Enough. So
enough is enough. This is a problem.
I don't have a Twitter rant in me for that. I don't have a very long Facebook post. I don't have pictures of him on Instagram with links to petitions and stuff like that. We all have social media. This stuff goes viral. And if you want to care about this stuff, then I need you, the royal you, to look into it yourselves.
Yes.
You read the news.
That's another good thing I want to say.
Don't look at me. You white people, you do the legwork.
Talking to white folks again.
Yeah.
Hey there, me, Cam, the white one. This information is widely available.
Yeah.
Don't kid yourself, folks.
Yeah.
I don't think you. I'm not talking. You need to go deep dive into the New York Times website. I'm talking about fucking Google it. Mm-hmm. You don't even have to do. You don't have to be a good Google. Mm-hmm. Just Google the name of the person and read about it. Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of these problems everywhere, and it's been going on for way longer than a couple of years. I know a lot of white folks who think like, "Oh my God, like why did this all of a sudden starting to happen?" Oh my God!
Not all of a sudden.
This
not all
is
of a sudden. Like I said, I knew about Elijah McCain when he was first murdered.
But Sam, even farther than that, and I'm not. I know you know. I know that you know, but I'm going to say for all the whams at home. This has been going on for hundreds of years. Hundreds of years.
Yep.
Martin Luther King, if he was alive today, would look at the state of the world and say that nothing has fucking changed.
Yeah.
And that was in the 60s.
Yeah.
Almost 100 years after slavery had been abolished by that point.
Yeah.
And still there is no
change.
No change, no nothing. And listen, folks. I understand this is a bit of a change of pace. We haven't gotten quite this serious since episode 10, the serious one. But this is going to be a shorter podcast today because we got to get to the stream. And I've said that lesson number 1 for today was...
It is... Oh, shit. It's 8 o'clock.
To be better. Yeah, so I'm going to wrap this up right the fuck now.
Yeah.
Lesson number 1 is to be better. If you're a white person, let me tell you right now, it is not hard to be not a creep. It's not hard to be not a racist. Lesson number 2 is do your reading. Do some research. It'll enrich you in the long run, and trust me, knowing about this is better than not knowing about this.
Personally, some of my 2 favorite black authors, 3 favorite black... Actually, you know what? I'm going to stick to 2 because I haven't actually read... the third one's books. I just follow her on Twitter and I love her a lot. And I love her thoughts. Roxane Gay is awesome. So awesome.
Great Twitter account.
Audre Lorde is a queen, and James Baldwin. I don't even know where. Beautiful. I'm reading Go Tell It on a Mountain right now, and it's some of the most beautiful prose that I've ever touched in my life.
Yeah. So lesson number 3.
Start with those. Read The Master's Tools Will Never Dismantle the Master's House by Audre Lorde. Read If Beale Street Could Talk, or Go Tell It on the Mountain by James Baldwin. Or read Bad Feminist by Roxane Gay. That's your very, 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 very skim the top, barely even grace the top with a net intro to really, really, really good black authors right now.
Yes.
And Black Thought and stuff like that.
And that'll be lesson number 3 for today, folks.
Yeah.
As always, you can find us on Spotify, Google Play, Apple Podcast, or YouTube. We upload every Tuesday at 3 p.m. If you like us so goddamn much, you can always listen to our podcast a little bit early on streaming services. We always tend to upload around 1 o'clock when it comes to streaming services, but 3 o'clock on YouTube every week, Tuesday, 3 p.m.
Yeah.
Thank you for supporting us.
And if you're a racist, ableist, homophobic, transphobic piece of garbage, don't do any of that shit. Get the fuck out. Don't do any of that shit.
Get the fuck out.
Go away.
Get the fuck out. Get the fuck out. But you know what? Turn yourself around, you can come back.
Hey?
But you have to turn yourself around.
But you have to turn yourself around.
Lesson number 4. Turn yourself around.
Yep. You can come back, but you got to change. Thanks, everybody.
Exactly. Thank you for listening, folks.
Yep.